Martin, how we feeling?
Confused, to be perfectly honest, JD. Completely confused,
Flummoxed talk to me
by
about your confusion.
That January jobs report just, I think, threw everyone for a loop. I mean, there's all sorts of statistical anomalies in there. The analysts have pointed them out. There's the sort of weather disruptions, some of the measurements, some of the components with respect to the change over December to January, and all the rest of it. But even with the breadth of forecasting for the month of January, and it was very wide, nobody had a figure that was even close to the 517 that we arrived with this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That just caught everyone on the back foot. And a large part of the growth was in the private sector. The private sector hiring, JD, was about 443,000. That's the strongest it's been in about 6 months. A decent component in government hiring, which is typical for the beginning of the year, gave the number a bit of a boost as well. But this is just solid across the board. The wage gains weren't particularly fast. They were essentially the same pace that we saw in December, and certainly markedly slower than we saw in November. And that does suggest there might be some revisions along the way. But nonetheless, the annual rate on a 3-month basis is very close to 5%. I think it's around 4.8%. So the Fed is going to be focused on that for certain. But nonetheless, the mystery of the job market, and I've written about this over the past couple of weeks, it sort of continues to puzzle those who watch it very, very closely. And I don't know that anyone has a correct answer to pierce through what it is that we're seeing. We had data yesterday, JD, from the Challenger Gray Christmas report, which basically categorizes layoffs across the economy. That number was the highest it's been since 2009. We're hearing about cost cuts all across the spectrum, from industrial companies to tech and everyone in between. And yet we see this titanic gain in private payrolls and indeed in overall payrolls for the month of January. So it remains a mystery. And the stock market reaction, as you can see, is a bit indecisive alongside it. More decisive than bonds, stocks are still picking their way through it.